Welcome. Oh, Johannes.
Yeah.
It's just you first.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. So thanks for the warm welcome.
All right. Salma, I see you on the sidelines. You'll be here in a few moments. All right.
Okay.
So go for it, Johannes.
Okay. So I'm here today to introduce our new semantic field data enabler because it's all about data. And to start my presentation, I've brought two sentences with me, which you have heard, I'm pretty sure, about quite often so far. On the one hand side, we have data as the new gold of the 21st century, a treasure which is just laying in front of us and only has to be lifted. On the other hand, we see digitalization as the main topic over the last years and the digitalization challenges our customers are facing. Today, the target is to bring these two topics together, to enable your data and, in this case, to give you a first glance of how to master the first challenge of digitalization. First of all, we have to talk about field data. And when I talk about field data, I'm talking about data which is already available in your factory, in your plant, in your devices, in your machines. And it's even more than that. It's data which has a certain information, a semantic, a context information, and it's already being there. And that could be, for example, a motor, temperature of a dedicated motor which is running a fan in degrees Celsius at a certain point of time. And if you have this value, it's directly the value you need for your IT system. And of course, it's even more than that, because it's an understandable point which you as a person, as a human being, can understand as well, and you can react on that. And that's the game-changing thing about this treasure. To bring it to the point of the challenges, so as an end customer in general, you want to have, or you're struggling with the transparency in your factory. So if you want to have more information about that, what is happening inside your machine, what is happening inside your devices. But in most cases, it just costs too much effort and too much money to get to this information. The second ones are the factory owners. The factory owners, for example, they want to know what's about their efficiencies. So how much power or how much energy they need for each piece in production or for a dedicated product they are producing. On the third point, we have the system integrators of the factory. So they are looking and keen about a solution which is fit in their existing systems and does not change anything about how they did things so far. And of course, it's security. So security is a crucial part about all of that. And they are very keen about not to opening a backdoor to the factory. Therefore, the good news, we have the solution for you. But before I go to the details on the benefits of our offering and our solutions, we need to talk about the bad news and the current situation. So the status quo, because the status quo is alarming. Only 20% of field data is currently available or used in today's production. That means, on the other hand, 80% of the data are not used or not accessible yet. And that's what we're going to change with our offering. But, as mentioned, first of all, I have to explain why that is coming from and how that is occurring and why it's lost this huge potential. It's because if you have your look on today's factory, we have a OT level, which means the PLC and HMI system. We have below that a field level, that means field bus connected devices, and you have a sensor level. But even from the sensor level, not all of them are connected on a smart way to your field level. And even in the factory, you have further information which are not connected at all. When it comes today to digitalization, we talk about making OT data, which you have from the PLC or HMI system, available to your IT system, but there is the missing semantics. So that means you need models, digital twins, whatever, to bring in semantics and understand what happens in the field level. And even further that, of course, you have to process it and bring it to the cloud level. In the most cases, to get further information of the PLC, you have to change it. Or even from the field level, you have to do changes in the PLC. And that's especially in brownfield applications, most customers will never do, because they will not change anything in the system on a running system and risk something to lose warranty or whatever. So that means how to get to these data. Therefore, we have two offerings. On the one hand side, we have our FDE PN app. This application is running on a Linux-based system. It's directly connected to the Profinet. It's a read-only application, which makes it possible by not changing anything in your OT system to get out the information of your field level. So it means everything what is Profinet connected, and even below to the smart sensors like IO-Link. So that's our USP, to directly get out IO-Link data and make OPC UA companion spec conform data out of that, which you can directly use in your industrial edge, in your IPCs, and furthermore in your cloud systems as well. On the other hand, for everything what is not that easy connected and does not have a field bus connection like Profinet, we will introduce here today the Thematic FDE gateway. It's a gateway which has several interfaces towards sensors, towards as well actors, and of course it has an Ethernet interface for energy monitoring. So it's possible to directly connect a lot of drives, for example. Our Dynamics drives, a huge potential of that, does not have Profinet connection yet. So that means there are millions of them out in the market, and we can address them. So even more than that, if we talk about digitalization, it's not digitalization of one machine, it's digitalization of the whole factory. So that means we are having as well things which are never connected to the OT world yet, but they become more and more important for the future. If it's temperature sensors, if it's PV inverters, if it's compressors, as we have heard it a couple of minutes ago, or is it just something what is really running your production and has a big impact on your process? And that's now possible to enable with this field data enabler offering. So the offering is complementing each other. That means for everything field bus connected, we have the FDE-PN app. For everything what is otherwise serial or anyhow to connect, we have the FDE gateway. What is so characterizing about this offering? It's a data availability for IT without OT interference as a first one. As a second point, we talk about easy to use and integrate without any further tooling. So we talk about a configuration instead of a programming which made it directly perfect for the OT users. And third but not least, it's what we really talk about is value data. And value data generation means for us really talk about the topics that you can understand it, that you can first, by seeing it, also see what the IT system is seeing and use that data from the very beginning at a high value. And that answers the challenges of our customers. So getting cost-efficient data access and thereout transparency, as previously said. It also gives an easy way of integration into existing systems because you do not have to change your OT system. And we enable information which can directly be used for your, of course, efficiencies or anyhow calculations for your business decisions. And last but not least, we are thinking in security at the very beginning. So that's why we are addressing these at every time. So it means you only can do it by having a CA certificate, certificate from your brokers, for example. So that means that's thought from the very beginning. And that it's not only just PowerPoint slides. I'm very happy to have my colleague Salma here today, which shows us more about a real application. Okay, it was a pretty fast going through the application, but hello Salma, so please take a seat.
Thanks, Johannes, for having me here.
Okay, so you're one of our first customers or partners, to say it in this way, of using our FDE gateway to enable your drive data. So can you explain our customers what are you doing with these data?
Yes, Johannes, for sure. Let's say, thanks to Thematic FDE portfolio, that data is now accessible. Now we make this data available to our customers in a way that they can analyze it and use it to increase the efficiency of their entire plant. And for this part, our predictive services portfolio has the answer. So let's go a little bit in detail. When we have the data available, it can go either to an edge device or directly to the cloud. And third case is to the cloud via an edge device. And in all these three cases, the customers can access our web-based dashboard ads to analyze the health status of the devices. They also get signals about the required upcoming maintenance activities, even including the spare part maintenance. This means all these topics help them to increase the system availability, reduce the cost and effort for maintenance, and so on. In a nutshell, they can optimize their operation and maintenance processes. And this is also this application, we are exhibiting it at our fair model where we already saw Karsten on the screen. So let's take the camera to Karsten and he will demonstrate what I have just explained.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to our booth. My name's Karsten, and I would like to show how we use drive system data to power our predictive services for drive systems. We do that with a semantic FDE gateway, which is linked with a serial interface to the drive. It periodically reads the data from the drive and converts it to the modern MQTT protocol, which is propagated to our brownfield connectivity gateway. The brownfield connectivity is a software which is running on a standard industrial PC. It's acting as a data hub in our systems. So you can promote the data anywhere you need it. For example, we use it here in our industrial edge application, Predictive Service Analyzer, which reads the raw data we got from the drive and calculate an anomaly index. This anomaly index shows if there are any problems in the application and provides warnings or even alarms in case something goes wrong. Additionally to that, we also calculate some values which are not directly measured. So we can even see the bearing temperatures or the winding temperatures which are not measured but calculated by our artificial intelligence model. So this helps to prevent unexpected shutdowns and also to optimize the maintenance activities. That's really a power of the data unlocked by Semantic FDE Gateway. Thanks for your attention. You're invited to come to the booth to get more details. But now, let's get back to Salma. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karsten, for demonstrating it, and I hope our audience can visualize it now better, how we take the field data and create value out of it. And Johannes, you know that we are good in drinking our own champagne, and also we walk the talk. So we have already implemented this use case in one of our own factories in Erlangen, in GWE, in the clean room area, and enjoying the optimization benefits.
That's really great. So talking about the benefits, why have you used the Semantic FDE Gateway? And where do you see the biggest advantages in this offering?
Well, that's a good question. Let's say the beauty of Siemens' huge portfolio is that we put all puzzle pieces together to maximize the value creation for our customers. And the biggest advantage that customers can have with this solution is they can analyze and access their machines without changing anything or interfering with the running OT system. And also field applications like drives and sensor signals and so on are also now accessible, and that was not possible in the past.
I'm totally convinced about that solution and that offering. So where can we find further information about that?
So as Karsten already mentioned, so the part of data connectivity and predictive maintenance is at booth number 45. And the field data enablement part is at number 63.
Okay. Thank you, Salma, for being here. Thank you, audience, for listening. If you need further information beside that, go on siemens.com/FDE and otherwise. So enjoy the fair. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you.